Hello, everyone. Again, this is Cdutiful, and I'm making another video, and this one should be a little bit more informative than our last one. And this one is basically just a beginner's guide to programming. And when I say that, you might think, oh, it's so hard, but it's actually pretty easy when you think about it. It's basically just typing. But we're going to be programming in the language C. So yes, that's an actual C, and let's get this out of the way. Don't want that. So to actually just program in C, all you need is a text. What do you call these? Text programs, and it's really easy. But before we start on that, you need to be familiar with what binary is. And binary is just super simple. It's basically just counting in base 2. And instead of using our natural numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we're just using 1 and 0 to represent our numbers. And it's really simple. So 1 is 1, and 0, 1, 0, or just 1, 0 is 2. That's because binary is base 2, it's multiple of the one before it. So all you really need to know is that a 0 basically means that a value is not being turned on, and 1 means it is being turned on. So sorry for my voice. So if we have 0, 2 zeros right here, basically it's the same as having 1, 0, nothing there. But if we have a 0, 1, it's having a it's the same as having 1 there, and you can put as many zeros as we want before that 1, and it will have the same value. But if we do this, it has a different value than if we did this. And that's this first place 0 is where the 1 would be, and since it's empty, go to the next place. It's filled, and that's a 2. Then we add another 0. The first 0 right here is empty. The second 0, which is stands for 2, is empty. But this one right here, which is 4, is filled. So basically that's it. So this would be 6, and just do more. That would be I just went brain dead there. That would be sorry about that, my mic went out. But basically I'm just testing my keyboard. So the first thing you'll want to do is I'll just type some example code in, and please excuse my really slow typing. Like I said in my last video that I uploaded, my keyboard broke, and I just got this new keyboard from Walmart. It's not a gaming keyboard, and I'll hopefully get a gaming keyboard later, but this one isn't, so I'm just adjusting to it. Basically, you might think this is a hashtag or a number sign, but it has a totally different meaning in programming in C. I think this is called an octophone or octo type something. It starts with octo because it has 8 sections. This, when you see this in C, it's normally before something like include. So you know when there is this number sign, or if you like calling it a hashtag, that means there'll be an include statement. So, for example, include st. And what that means is, this is an abbreviation here, std. You see this a lot sometimes in anything, like on different websites and everything. It just stands for standard, just an abbreviation for standard. And IO, that's the I means input, and the O means output. And we'll get into what this H means later in later sections, but basically that's it. Okay, so the include part right here states what this will be, and this, for all purposes now, just mean that just give you a heads up that this will be an include statement, and immediately following it would be the words include. And then these two, less than, greater than signs are just little brackets for containing the file that's being included. In this case, stdio.h. And that's basically it. You'll probably need to include a file for whatever you're doing, because it gives you the standard input-output functions, such as I think int is included in there, and printf. We'll go over what that means later. Basically everything like that. Now, don't worry about what this means just yet. So here we have two brackets here, and these will contain our actual program that we're going to write, and it's really simple. What does int stand for? Int stands for int, for integer. Okay. And here we just have a blank space. We could actually write void in here to make more sense. But basically, there's nothing here. That's why we would fill in void. And this is the main. So this is our main part of our program. And basically, there are a few symbols you need to know when programming. Equals. That means that whatever you put before it will be whatever you put before the equal sign. So if you put int space equals 2, that means that the integer named space will have the value of 2 always, unless you change it with the pointers. But we'll go over that later, of course. But that will always mean that before this, all of this stuff right here, whatever you name it, so it could be int blank, int c, whatever, or it could even be short int blank, as many s's as you want, and it will always equal to unless you change the value or with a pointer or directly by changing it to a 3. Now that's what the equal sign means. But what does semicolon mean? Well, you're probably familiar with it when you looked over actual programming code and seen it after something like let's say blah 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 equals blah 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 blah, and then semicolon. What does that do? This semicolon right here, right here, that basically ends that statement in C. A lot of different languages use different enders, but it basically adds a string of bits and terminating string of bits to the end of the statement so that the statement will actually end. So if we're in RAM right here, and I'll explain that in just a second. We have this. That's not a good example, but whatever. We have that. Say this is our first statement. In this statement, we can't tell what it is just by looking at it, but this statement, it shows that we have a value of 500, and that value's name is just a 500. But this semicolon will actually put that at the end of it. So we have that in RAM. We will have that at the end of it. We put the semicolon there. And some compilers won't actually let you even build or compile and run your program until you put the semicolon in each of the statements that you need. So that's just a thing to look out for. What else? You'll encounter parentheses a lot, like we just step here. Those will contain something, obviously. Whatever it is that you need to contain, what's based off your function. And we'll explain what a function is later. I'm just skipping over so much stuff. But basically, it contains whatever your function designates it to contain and what you want it to contain per function. So yeah, but basically, say we have this function printf equals printf. What am I doing? Printf and hi that the parentheses are containing YouTube, and these little quotation marks are designating that it's actually text that isn't assigned to any just text that will be displayed on screen. And so these parentheses say that whatever are in between these two parentheses, basically quotation hi, YouTube, quotation, will be what printf tells it to be, which is a just text. So that's that. And what are these two brackets? These basically just contain our program for all intents and purposes. In this video, these just basically contain our program for now. But I'll have another video up soon explaining more of this. And but basically, I'm just gonna write a really quick program, and I want you to just see if you can figure out what everything might mean. And I don't know, if you want to, you can put it in the comments and determine what what it might mean. I know I didn't get a very excellent explanation, but I'm trying. This isn't my forte, teaching people how to do things, unless I can actually be there and teach them. But anyway, just I'm gonna write some quick code, and it's really simple, relatively. And all I need you to do is just try to figure out the relationship between each little sign and what is said before it, from what I've told you. My really horrible explanation. So. So yeah, just try to figure out the relationship between this. And again, I'm sorry for my really slow typing speed, but just try to figure out the relationship between each of these little signs and what they mean before the signs, what they mean related to the program. And yeah, so put that in the comments if you want to.